Hello, my name is Dr. Pamela West, and I am excited to take you on a journey with me to explore some of the unsung Black history of my hometown, Savannah, Georgia. We have some very special places to visit that I hope will enlighten you to the rich African heritage of this beautiful city. So let's go! The first stop on our journey is First African Baptist Church, the oldest African American church in the United States, established in 1733 by Reverend George Lau, a freed slave. A unique feature in the church, which relates to the Underground Railroad, are the holes in the floor in certain areas of the church. These holes are arranged in a pattern known as a Congolese cosmogram, an African prayer symbol. The pattern represented life, so it fits with the church. The real reason for these holes was breathing holes for slaves who were hidden beneath the floorboards. Deacon Haynes was an unsung hero of the movement of freedom known popularly as Underground Railroad. The ceiling. It is designed as a 9-patch pattern resembling a quilt. During the days of slavery, the Underground Railroad was used by thousands. Perhaps tens of thousands of slaves made their way north to freedom. The quilt was a sign of safety and designated this place as a safe house along the Underground Railroad. The church was also known as a gathering place, for the church was the largest place for blacks and whites together during the time of segregation. Some blacks were not allowed to march with their graduating class. Instead, they had a separate ceremony which was held at First African Baptist Church. The second stop of our journey is the Haitian Monument that is located in Franklin Square across from First African Baptist Church. It pays tribute to the soldiers who fought for American independence during the siege of Savannah in 1779. This monument honors the largest unit of men of African descent who were recruited from present-day Haiti to serve in the Revolutionary War. The third stop of our journey is First Bryan Baptist Church. In 1788, Andrew Bryan, a former slave, organized one of the earliest Black Baptist churches in North America. He purchased his freedom and formed a congregation which was chartered under the name of First Bryan Baptist Church. In 1793, Bryan obtained the lot where the First Bryan Baptist Church now stands. It was constructed in 1873. The original lot is located where the main post office stands today. A dispute over doctrine in 1832 caused a breakup, resulting in two congregations, First Bryan Baptist Church and the First African Baptist Church, which was constructed in 1859. The members of that church are direct descendants of Bryan's original congregation. Let's go on to the next stop of our journey, the Weeping Time Historical Marker. One of the largest sales of enslaved people in American history occurred on the site of a former racetrack in West Savannah on March 2nd and 3rd, 1859. The plantation owner, Pierce M. Butler, sold 436 men, women, and children to pay off his creditors. Numerous slave traders from near and far descended on Savannah's Ten Brock Racecourse to purchase Butler's forced laborers, who in the process were frequently ripped apart from their family members forever. Let's go on to the next stop of our journey. Susan King Taylor, a Civil War nurse, teacher, writer, and racial justice activist. When she was about 7 years old, her grandmother, Dolly Reed, was allowed by a plantation owner to take her to go live in Savannah. Taylor's grandmother would send her and her brother to be educated through something known as an underground education. Mrs. Woodhouse, the teacher, would have the students enter one at a time with their books covered to keep from drawing too much attention by the police or local white population. Taylor would attend school with about 25 to 30 children. This lasted for another 2 years, at which point she would then find instruction from another free woman of color, Mrs. Matilda Beasley, the first African American Roman Catholic nun in Georgia. Before the Civil War, Beasley supported herself through working as a seamstress and waitress. Throughout the 1850s, she ran a secret school for enslaved and free black children. In 1887, Beasley opened an orphanage called St. Francis Home for Colored Orphans. In 1889, she founded the first community of African American nuns in Georgia. The Beach Institute. The Beach Institute began in 1867 as the first school in Savannah erected specifically for the education of African Americans. It was built by free and formerly enslaved Negroes. The Beach Institute is a museum for African American arts, history, and cultural preservation. Today, the original historic building is the home to the Beach Institute, African American Cultural Center, and owned by the King-Tisdale Cottage Foundation. The most amazing thing is that we can still walk the halls of history by booking a tour of the Beach Institute. The next stop of our journey takes us to my elementary school, Pearlie Smith. Pearlie Smith was formerly known as Springfield Terrace. It is the only surviving example of the popular one-story public school building type constructed during the early 20th century in Chatham County. It was constructed to educate rural students living on the outskirts of the county's incorporated area. It is a good example of the continuing influence of the Rosenwald Fund School, equalizing of funding for all students. The next stop of our journey takes us to the King-Tisdale Cottage. The cottage was built in 1896. The King-Tisdale Cottage became Savannah's first black museum in 1981. It is furnished with period pieces from the 1890s. The King-Tisdale Cottage is a part of the Black preservation movement in Savannah. The next stop takes us to Louis B. Toomer, founder of Carver State Bank. He was an African American leader, local bank founder, and realtor. Toomer established the Georgia Savings and Realty Corporation on February 23, 1927. He was an innovative financial service leader for 85 years. During segregation, the company provided banking, investment, and insurance services for blacks who were not always allowed to access the white banking establishments. In 1947, the name of the corporation changed to the Carver Savings Bank, and it was converted to a state-supervised saving bank. It later became a full-service commercial bank and renamed to Carver State Bank in 1962. Toomer was appointed Register of Treasury from 1953 to 1956 by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. A bronze sundial was erected in his honor in 1964 in Chatham Square in Savannah, Georgia. Well, I hope you enjoyed this journey with me, celebrating some of Savannah's unsung Black history. Until next time, goodbye.